Hello and welcome to our podcast episode number 40, A Hero's Journey Through a Magical World of Myth and Mayhem. I'm Thomas, and I am here with my friend Timothy. Tonight, we are going to discuss a film called Princess Mononoke. There will be spoilers. Princess Mononoke is a 1997 Japanese animated epic historical fantasy film about a prince who kills a cursed boar god, and his subsequent journey to find a cure for the curse that has given him superhuman strength, but will eventually kill him. Along the way, he encounters a war between humans and nature, led by an Iron Town's ruler and a wolf goddess. Well, Tim, so did you like Princess Mononoke?
Yes, I did like Princess Mononoke, Thomas. It was quite enjoyable. The story was well told and the animation was breathtaking. I found myself drawn into the world of these characters and their struggle. However, I must say that it wasn't my favorite film in this genre. There were moments where the plot felt a bit rushed or underdeveloped for my taste. But overall, it was an entertaining watch.
I agree with you on some points, Tim. The visuals in Princess Mononoke are stunning and definitely stand out among other animated films of its time. The story does have a few pacing issues here and there, but I think that's part of its charm. It feels more like an epic tale told through generations rather than a tightly woven narrative with no loose ends. And I must say, the themes explored in this film are quite profound. The clash between nature and human progress, the importance of finding balance between them. These are timeless issues that still resonate strongly today. However, what really sets Princess Mononoke apart for me is its complex characters and their relationships with each other. The wolf goddess is a fantastic example of this. She starts off as a vengeful creature fighting against humans who threaten her home, but throughout the story, we see her struggle to reconcile her hatred towards them with the love she has for her adoptive human mother. It's quite touching, actually. And then there's Ashitaka, the protagonist, whose journey from a cursed prince to a symbol of hope and unity is both inspiring and heartbreaking.
While I agree that some characters like Sam were well developed, I found others to be underwhelming or even two-dimensional. Take Lady Eboshi, for example. She's portrayed as this ruthless villain who destroys nature for her own gain. But we don't really get much depth into her character beyond that. It would have been interesting to see more of her motivations and backstory, especially since she's not completely without redeeming qualities towards the end of the film.
That's an excellent point you make about Lady Eboshi, Tim. I think her character could have benefited from a bit more exploration as well. However, I believe that Princess Mononoke's strength lies in its portrayal of the clash between good and evil, rather than providing deep insights into every single character. The film doesn't shy away from showing us the consequences of our actions or the complexity of moral choices we face in life. Now, let's talk about the action sequences in this movie. There are some truly awe-inspiring battles between various creatures and humans throughout Princess Mononoke. My personal favorite would have to be the final showdown between Ashitaka and San, where they confront each other not as enemies, but as two sides of the same coin struggling for balance in their world.
Yeah, I must admit that the action scenes were well done and added a nice layer of excitement to the film. However, I found myself more invested in the emotional journeys of the characters rather than their physical battles. The relationships between San, Ashitaka, and Lady Eboshi, for instance, are what kept me engaged throughout the story.
All right then, Tim. Since we seem to agree on some points but also have our differences regarding Princess Mononoke, let's move on to another topic related to this film. How about we discuss the impact of Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki on Japanese animation? I think that would be an interesting discussion point for our viewers.
Yes, I think discussing the impact of Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki on Japanese animation is indeed an interesting topic. As we all know, Princess Mononoke was directed by Hayao Miyazaki, who is considered one of the greatest animators of all time. He has had a tremendous influence not only in Japan, but also worldwide with his unique blend of fantasy, mythology, and environmental themes. Studio Ghibli itself, founded by Hayao Miyazaki and Isao Takahata, is known for producing some of the most critically acclaimed and visually stunning animated films ever made. Their commitment to storytelling, character development, and craftsmanship has set a high bar for the animation industry as a whole. In Princess Mononoke, we see many of these trademark elements from Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki. The film's blend of historical fantasy with themes like environmentalism, industrialization versus nature preservation is very characteristic of their work. Additionally, the attention to detail in the animation and the creation of believable worlds are hallmarks that have made Studio Ghibli so renowned.
I completely agree with you on that point, Tim. Princess Mononoke is a prime example of what makes Studio Ghibli's films stand out from the rest. The way they seamlessly blend fantasy and reality while tackling complex themes in an engaging manner truly sets them apart from other animation studios. And of course, Hayao Miyazaki's unique visual style adds to this already impressive package. Now, let's talk about the environmental aspects that are prevalent throughout Princess Mononoke. The film serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked industrialization and how it can lead to irreparable damage not only to nature, but also to ourselves. This theme resonates deeply with audiences, especially those who are concerned about climate change and environmental protection. Furthermore, Princess Mononoke also explores themes like humanity's relationship with animals and the natural world, as well as the importance of finding balance between progress and preservation. These ideas have inspired many people to reevaluate their own lifestyles and consider ways in which they can contribute positively towards a more sustainable future. In conclusion, Princess Mononoke is an exceptional film that showcases both Studio Ghibli's artistry and Hayao Miyazaki's storytelling prowess. Its impact on Japanese animation and global cinema cannot be overstated, as it continues to inspire new generations of creators while also providing thought-provoking insights into some of the most pressing issues of our time.
That's very true, Thomas. Now, let me share some interesting trivia about Princess Mononoke with our viewers. Did you know that the film was originally intended by Hayao Miyazaki to be a standalone project? However, due to its immense popularity and success, it eventually spawned a sequel of sorts in the form of the TV series entitled Kurenai no Buta, or The Crimson Pig. The story follows a young boy named Matasaburo who travels through time and meets various characters from Princess Mononoke, including Ashitaka and San. It serves as an epilogue to the original film and explores themes such as redemption, forgiveness, and moving on from traumatic experiences. Additionally, the character of Lady Eboshi was partially inspired by a real-life figure named Yui Shuetsu, who was a prominent Japanese feminist writer during the early 20th century. Her works often focused on themes such as women's rights, social inequality, and industrialization. It's quite fascinating to see how Miyazaki incorporated elements from her life into his storytelling.
That is indeed some very interesting trivia about Princess Mononoke, Tim. Now let me add something else to the mix. Did you know that Hayao Miyazaki actually had a difficult time finding voice actors for some of the characters in this film? For example, he initially wanted actor Toshiro Mifune to provide the voice for Lord Asano, but Mifune passed away before production began. In addition, the character of Moro was originally written for actress Mitsuko Mori, who played a similar role in another Miyazaki film called Nausicaa of the Valley of Wind. However, due to scheduling conflicts, she was unable to voice Moro in Princess Mononoke. Instead, Kaoru Kobayashi took on the role. Now, let's shift gears and discuss how Studio Ghibli approached creating the world of Princess Mononoke from a technical standpoint. The film's art director, Katsuya Okada, had to design an entire universe that blended elements from medieval Japan with fantastical creatures and landscape. This was no easy task, as he had to balance realism with the surreal nature of the story. One of his most impressive achievements was designing the Forest Spirit's Palace, which is a massive structure made entirely out of living trees and vines. The entire set took over 2 years to build and was painstakingly detailed down to every leaf and branch. In terms of animation, Princess Mononoke utilized a unique style that combined traditional, hand-drawn cell animation with computer-generated imagery. This allowed the animators to create more realistic backgrounds and environments, while still maintaining the charm and beauty of traditional anime. The film also boasts some stunning action sequences, such as the battle between Prince Ashitaka's cursed arm and the demon god Nego, which required extensive planning and coordination between the animators and special effects team. Finally, let me just say that Princess Mononoke was a groundbreaking film not only for Studio Ghibli, but also for Japanese animation as a whole. Its success paved the way for more mature-themed animated films to be produced in Japan and around the world. The impact of this movie on the industry cannot be understated, and its themes continue to resonate with audiences today, just as they did when it was released over 2 decades ago.
Thank you for sharing all those fascinating insights into the making of Princess Mononoke. Thomas, it truly is a remarkable film on many levels. Now, let's talk about the direction and how Miyazaki managed to bring this complex story to life. From the very beginning, we see his masterful handling of tone as he seamlessly blends fantasy with reality, creating an immersive world that feels both familiar and foreign at the same time. He also does a brilliant job of balancing character development with plot progression, ensuring that neither aspect overshadows the other. Furthermore, his use of symbolism and allegory adds depth and resonance to the story, making it accessible on multiple levels. For instance, San's journey from vengeful outcast to reluctant ally can be seen as an exploration of personal growth and redemption, while also serving as a commentary on humanity's relationship with nature.
Indeed, one of the things that really stood out to me about Miyazaki's direction was his ability to create such vivid, memorable characters despite having limited screen time for some of them. Take Jigo, for example. He is only in a few scenes, but his presence looms large throughout the film due to his manipulative nature and self-serving motivations. Miyazaki manages to convey all of this through subtle characterizations and clever dialogue choices. Another aspect of Princess Mononoke that I found particularly impressive was its pacing. Despite being over 2 hours long, the film never feels slow or draggy. Each scene serves a purpose in furthering either the plot or character development, and Miyazaki ensures that there's always something interesting happening on screen.
That brings me to another point I wanted to discuss: the music and sound design in Princess Mononoke.
Mm-hmm.
The film has a very unique and atmospheric score by Joe Hisaishi, which really adds to the movie's immersive quality Neither it's the sweeping rhythms that accompany Santa Moreau's fight scenes or soothing, soft, gittical pieces that in the background of Irontown. All of these elements contribute to creating a truly unforgettable world for the viewer to become immersed in.
I couldn't agree more. The soundtrack does a fantastic job of complementing the film and enhancing its rich, vivid atmosphere and characterization with each other that other characters are living in a medieval Japanese village. They bring to life to anime where working as an assistant to the director of a movie. iMovie production housewife company called their own, that's Princess Mononoke.
I'd also like to discuss the acting performances in Princess Mononoke. The cast is filled with some of Japan's most talented voice actors, each bringing their unique skills and interpretations to their respective roles. Yuri Lowenthal, who voices Prince Ashitaka, does a wonderful job of capturing both his nobility and vulnerability as he navigates the complex world around him. As for San, voiced by Gillian Anderson, her portrayal is equally compelling. She expertly conveys San's emotional journey from vengeful outcast to empathetic ally, showcasing a range of feelings that resonate deeply with viewers. Another standout performance comes from Billy Crudup as Jigo, who delivers his lines with an unsettling charm and menace that perfectly encapsulates the character's manipulative nature.
Truly, the voice cast for Princess Mononoke is truly exceptional. They all bring their A game to this film, bringing depth and nuance to their characters. For example, Minnie Driver voices Lady Eboshi, who starts off as a relatively one-dimensional villain, but eventually evolves into a more complex figure throughout the story. This transformation would not have been possible without Driver's talent for capturing Lady Eboshi's blend of toughness and vulnerability. Another example is Yoji Matsuda, who voices Boar God Forerunner and does an incredible job conveying his regal presence and wisdom.
Speaking of the characters, let me share something fascinating I read about Princess Mononoke's character design. Miyazaki originally intended for San to be a young boy named Mankubashi, but changed her gender during production due to concerns about how an adult male audience would respond to a protagonist who was essentially raised by wolves. This change ultimately resulted in giving the film its unique blend of a female empowerment and nature conservation themes.
That's a fascinating tidbit of trivia. It just goes to show you how even small changes in character design can have a big impact on the overall story and themes of anime. Now, I wanted to discuss the relationship between San and Moro, voiced by Claire and Gillian Anderson. Their bond is one of the most powerful in the film, as they both come from completely different backgrounds but find solace in their shared love for nature and respect it greatly. They also share a common goal of protecting it and living in harmony with wolves after being raised by them. The bond between San's mother, who worked as a forest ranger who was the most powerful character named Lady Eboshi. Eboshi Mononoke's new podcast about anime called Theron, The History of England. They've been friends for 180 years and want to discuss lifelong time in the film industry. With Tim, their love for nature and history since they have known each other for making a powerful documentary movies about them.
Indeed, their bond is incredibly powerful and serves as a beacon of hope in a world torn apart by conflict and greed. Speaking of bonds, let's talk about Princess Mononoke's artistic influence on the medium of animation as a whole. The film has inspired countless artists from all over the world with its breathtaking visuals and unique blend of historical fantasy and environmentalism. Many modern animators cite it as one of their biggest influences, particularly in terms of character design and world building.
That's true. Hayao Miyazaki has a very distinctive artistic style that sets him apart from other anime directors. His attention to detail is truly remarkable, as evidenced by the meticulously designed costumes and settings in Princess Mononoke. Each character is beautifully rendered, with their appearances reflecting their personalities and backgrounds in a way that's both subtle and striking. For example, Lady Eboshi's strong, masculine features contrast sharply with her elegant attire, hinting at the complex nature of her character.
Another aspect of Princess Mononoke that has had a lasting impact on animation is its approach to storytelling. The film doesn't shy away from tackling mature themes like environmental destruction and human conflict, which was quite rare in children's animated movies at the time of its release. It also features several strong female protagonists who are more than just damsels in distress or love interests. They are complex characters with their own agendas and motivations. This empowering representation has been celebrated by audiences both young and old alike, and has inspired a new generation of animators to create stories that challenge traditional gender roles and tropes.
Lastly, let's discuss Princess Mononoke's impact on the cultural landscape of Japan and beyond. The film was released during a time when Japanese animation was gaining international recognition, but still largely unknown to mainstream audiences in the West. Its critical and commercial success helped pave the way for other anime titles to find wider audiences, leading to increased interest in Japanese culture as a whole. Additionally, its environmental message resonated with viewers around the world, sparking conversations about conservation and sustainability within both the animation industry and beyond. In conclusion, Princess Mononoke is more than just an animated film. It's a testament to human creativity and resilience in the face of adversity. Its artistic influence continues to inspire new generations of artists, storytellers, and environmentalists alike.
I couldn't agree more, Thomas. Princess Mononoke is truly a masterpiece of animation that manages to combine beautiful visuals, compelling storytelling, and powerful themes in a way that resonates with audiences from all walks of life. It's a film that will continue to be remembered and cherished for generations to come. Now, let's wrap things up by giving our final thoughts on this incredible anime classic. Timothy, what do you think makes Princess Mononoke stand out among other animated films? Well, Thomas, as we've discussed earlier, there are many factors that contribute to the success of Princess Mononoke. But if I had to choose one thing that sets it apart from other animated movies, it would be its ability to tackle complex themes and issues in a way that feels both authentic and accessible. From environmental destruction and human conflict to gender roles and social hierarchy, the film handles these topics with grace and nuance, offering valuable insights while also providing an engaging and entertaining viewing experience.
Truly. And I think another key factor in Princess Mononoke's enduring popularity is its universal appeal. Despite being set in a fictionalized version of medieval Japan, the story touches on themes that are relevant to people from all corners of the globe. Whether it's the conflict between human progress and environmental preservation, or the struggle for power and control, these are issues that transcend cultural boundaries, making Princess Mononoke a truly global phenomenon. Now, before we sign off, let me leave you with one last thought. If you haven't seen Princess Mononoke yet, what are you waiting for? This film is a masterclass in storytelling and animation, and it deserves to be experienced by everyone. So go out there, watch it, and join us in celebrating this incredible work of art. And remember, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the film as well. So please leave us a comment, subscribe to our channel, and hit that like button to let us know what you think. Until next time, this has been Tim and Tom saying good night from London.